You know that gut feeling? You just knew something was going to work out even when there was no logical reason to believe it, and then boom, things started happening? That's not a coincidence. That's the universe speaking to you. But here's the real question. How do you know when the universe is guiding you? How do you recognize those signs, especially when they're so subtle? Most people miss them because they're too focused on what they expect to see. But what if the signs were already there, just in ways you hadn't noticed or didn't know what to look or listen for? When you know, life becomes so much easier for two reasons. First, because you can relax. You know that what you want is on its way. And secondly, because you'll always know what to do. You'll be shown the way to everything you want. Always. Cool, eh? In this video, I'm going to spill all the beans, so stay till the end. Hi, I'm Trevor, and back when my life was in a big mess about 30 years ago, I went from thinking I was alone to believing there was me and a great big universe whose attention I had to get if I was going to manifest my dream life, which meant mostly money because I was in a heap of debt, and a loving relationship would have been welcome too because I just seemed to lurch from one heartbreak to the next. Anyway, eventually, after many years, I did figure it all out, and it's really very simple, natural, and requires about as much effort as batting a child's balloon with your finger. To find out more about my plain and simple non-woo-woo approach to manifesting whatever you want, just download a copy of my free ebook, Let's Manifest a Ferrari. I'll put a link at the top of the description. Look, here's the truth. The universe is always communicating with you because you're a part of it. To say otherwise would be like saying the electricity isn't communicating with your television set when you're watching some program on it. Of course, I know you can unplug televisions. It's not a perfect metaphor, but it is only a metaphor, okay? But when you tune into the universe's communications, the signs don't usually show up with a neon flashing light. They come in whispers, in little nudges that might seem insignificant at first. Very often it's just a feeling, and that's subtle too, and very hard to describe. It's lightness and rightness. It just feels easy. There's no effort. There's a knowing that doesn't come from thinking. It's not like knowing 2 + 2 = 4, because believe it or not, there was a time when you didn't know that. It's more like the same way you know not to stick needles in your eyes. No one needs to tell you that. At least I hope they don't. Once you know how to spot the signs, everything changes. You'll start to see that every small synchronicity, every random thought that feels good is part of a bigger picture coming together for you. Sometimes you'll have an idea. The trick is to catch it before your logical mind, the ego mind if you like, dismisses it. You probably know that voice. It's the one that says,
"Oh, that's stupid. That'll never work."
But it will always feel right. It feels true. It feels good. Not like ecstasy or euphoria, and not like laughing hard. There's no thinking behind it and no resistance. When you understand that the universe is always moving in your favor, it means you can stop worrying about how things will happen and start trusting that they are happening. You become a collaborator with the universe. You set the direction and the universe takes care of the rest. Just like you can place an order for something from a well-known website and know they'll deliver. It's that deep knowing that arises when you're not caught up in the noise of overthinking, or indeed any thinking. Stop thinking that your thinking is the mechanism that makes things happen in your life. It never is. It's a mighty powerful tool and will help you pass exams and even decide what to have for dinner tonight, but it's no good at manifesting. Take stock for a moment. Can you fall in love by thinking about it? or make love that way? Do you need thinking to dance or to laugh? I've never studied the psychology of comedy, but I've noticed that when I get a joke, there's no thinking involved. If I don't get it and someone has to explain it to me, I get it, but then I don't laugh. You can't think your way to being creative or playful, nor can you force your brain to come up with an original idea. The big myth is that manifesting requires constant action or even a roadmap. But here's the fact. The most important work you'll ever do is to get quiet enough to hear those whispers. Find a way to tune thinking out. That's where the magic happens. The less noise in your mind, the more space there is for insight to flow through. In fact, we do this naturally. We go to see a movie or take a holiday to forget about it all for a while. We don't mean true forgetfulness. What we mean is that we can stop thinking about all the stuff we clog up our minds with day in and day out. Even a short respite from doing that makes us feel relaxed and refreshed. Now, of course, you can't take holidays whenever you feel like it, and you probably can't go to the movies all the time. So here's what I want you to do. Spend a few minutes a day in silence. No phone, no distractions. Just you and your thoughts. You can meditate if you like, but there's no need to learn a new practice just for this. Just sit in silence for 10 minutes a day and watch your thoughts. Sometimes they'll take over as if they're in charge. That's what you're used to. But stay with it, and you'll quickly discover that you can return to noticing them without having to act on them or even believe they're real. And then there will be moments when they'll seem to fade out altogether. Don't try to make any of this happen. That would require effort, and that means more thinking. Asking yourself if you're doing it right is just a thought. Observe that one and let it go just like all the others. Pretty soon, you'll come to understand that you are not your thoughts, and there's a quieter part of your mind, the part that does the noticing and observing, and that's the part that's connected to the wisdom of the universe. Now, if you've got something in mind you'd like to manifest at the start of your settling down period, just for about 5 seconds, simply acknowledge silently that you'd like that change to happen somehow. Don't worry about how, that's just more thinking. And then settle into your quiet minutes. Pay attention to what comes up into that quiet space. Notice any ideas, feelings, or signs that seem to nudge you in a direction. Those are subtle hints and often the universe pointing you toward what you've been asking for. Trust in that guidance, because once you do, manifesting truly becomes effortless. I hope you found this video helpful. Do remember, if you'd like to find out more about this down-to-earth approach to manifesting, you can download a free copy of my ebook, Let's Manifest a Ferrari, by clicking the link at the top of the description below this video. Meanwhile, it'd be a good idea to refresh your memory about how to trust the universe, which was the topic of the previous video in this short series. I'll put a link on the screen to that one now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another video.